Alright, I am going to show you how to read a credit card statement. And this is the bill that you'll get either in the mail or electronically at the end of every month. And it's really important that you check this and look over it because there are errors. And so you want to make sure that you're not getting billed for something that you didn't actually buy. The first section I'm going to show you is the summary of account activity. And if you wanted to just see a brief overview of what you spent for the month and the payments that you'd have made, this is where you're going to look. So this is going to show all your payments, if there was a credit, maybe you returned something to a store and they credited that back to your account. If you purchased anything, if you transferred a balance from one card to another, if you borrowed cash off of your credit card, any fees that you've incurred, any interest, and if there was a balance that you were supposed to pay and you didn't pay. That is all going to show up here. So a really important part to look at. The second is going to be your payment information, and this will show you your new balance that you owe, the minimum that you can get away with paying, which is never a good idea because that's where you're going to run into a lot of interest charges. And then this is also going to show you when the payment is due. So this is also important. The third section, this is going to show you what happens if you make a late payment. And this is where you would either get charged a fee or maybe you would get kicked into the penalty APR. So you want to be really careful and pay attention to this. The fourth section is going to show you what happens if you only make the minimum payment. It's going to show you how long it'll take to pay off your bill, how much interest you're going to wind up paying, and so this is where it's going to really be an eye-opener because if you only make the minimum payment, that's where you're going to get into trouble with credit cards. The fifth section is going to show you if there are any changes that will be made to your interest rates. So if you have gotten into the penalty APR, if you are behind on your payments. And then this is if there are going to be any changes made to your account. So you'll definitely want to take a look at that to see if you have any upcoming changes. Also in a credit card bill, the big section is going to be your transactions. This is going to list every time you use the credit card, every time you made a payment, and it'll show you by date and by amount. So you'll want to analyze this and make sure that there are not any mistakes. Make sure that they aren't saying that you made a charge when maybe you didn't make a charge. And then there is a section that shows all the fees for the month. If you had a balance transfer fee, if you had a cash advance fee, and if you had a late fee, anything like that, any interest that you've accrued, any interest that you are going to have to pay. And then there's a section that will show year to date. So for the whole course of the year, how much have you paid in fees? How much have you paid in interest? And this can be kind of depressing if you've carried a balance and had to pay a lot of interest. And then this section is going to show you your interest charge calculation, all the different transactions. So maybe most of your transactions were purchases, you were buying something new. Maybe you had a little bit that you used for a cash advance. Maybe you had some that you used for a balance transfer. But you are going to want to analyze your credit card bill and make sure that it's accurate and make sure you know what you're paying. And hopefully this will be a good wake-up call to you if you're carrying a balance that this is costing you a lot of interest. You're paying a lot more than you have to.